Just a moment ago, a very tense moment for Rusty Wallace. He got up toward and almost, perhaps, into the wall at turn 2. Here's what happened.
Well, you see him going down in turn 1. That's Lake Speed under him. They'd gotten pretty close just a second ago. There's contact there between the two cars. Rusty gets right up. Not quite, but I tell you what, that's great car control, too. But they got awful close on the back straightaway about 10 laps ago.
If you notice, Bud, Lake Speed did go down and hit the apron, and that automatically throws his car up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just the left front wheel just touched the apron.
I'm not sure from that second replay if they did actually touch.
Well, it's unusual to see Rusty's car wiggle that much getting in the corner.
Good point.
And you know that these race car drivers, it's getting close to the end of the year, and they have memories just like an elephant. You know, they can remember things. So he remembers that car from up in Martinsville, too.
Whoa. Now, if you remember it, I'm sure he remembers it. Terry Labonte leads Dale Earnhardt now into second. Bill Elliott's third. Todd Bodine has dropped to fourth.
That car, Terry Labonte's, is awesome. You know, not long ago, Gant went up and made up his lap. Terry Labonte has repassed him, put him that lap back again, and he pulled out about a 15-car length lead over Harry Gant now. So that car is awesome. The longer it goes, the faster it runs.
And this is still a good battle here. Back at 11th place, Lake Speed, Ricky Rudd, Sterling Marlin.
Boy, I tell you, there's nothing easy in racing. You have to work for every position. There's a lot of damage on the front of Sterling's car there from a previous wreck. He got in the back of the car a while ago when Dave Marcus and a few of them spun around on the back straightaway. But I'm sure the aerodynamics are not that great. You see everything flapping around on the nose, but he's running quite well. The car's handling great.
Place. Now here's Todd Bodine. He has dropped to fourth, and he's trying to hold off fifth place. Mark Martin in the Valvoline fourth.
Yeah, he made that gallant effort, got all the way up to second. I'm sure he abused the tires a little bit, and now he's paying the price right near the end of the run here. But the great part of a race with the length that you have here at Rockingham is you can adjust the car for later on runs where you get it better. You know, if you get loose, you just tighten it up a little bit, and you're right in the fray again.
Martin down to about 6,500 RPM in the corner, and he just tickles 8,600 down that straightaway.
I've seen 168 miles an hour down across straightaway just now, and that's on used tires. Can you imagine what they're running when they're on fresh?
And he makes the pass.
A little slower down the back straightaway. You don't have the big dog legs. You really get the speed up like you do down the front. There we're getting on up there. 67, 68. 168 miles an hour in Rockingham. Boy, who would ever believe that?
The report on pit road is all the teams are looking for scuffed tires as opposed to brand new sticker tires to put on their cars. Now, when Kenny Schrader had to stay in the garage, Jeff Gordon's team, also owned by Rick Hendrick, tried to get some of Schrader's tires, but they were mounted on a different brand of wheel than what Jeff Gordon's team uses. So things aren't exactly the same from one of those Hendrick teams to the next.
That reminds me of a commercial. He could get more money out of another sponsor, but his crew didn't want it. You know what I mean? We got to keep the sponsor lit.
Maybe some of them have some trouble with some wheels or something, and they're trying to a different wheel.
Possible. There's several different brands involved.
Or it could be offset a little bit more than others or something like that. Maybe.
That could be different wheel construction, maybe little bit different brake rotor clearance, brake caliper clearance. I mean,
they're cheating a little bit, a little more offset.
I wouldn't say that.
Boy, oh boy, Sterling Marlin's car would be a dominant car, I think, if it didn't have all that damage. You see Lake Speed, he dropped down to the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like he has trouble.
And Rusty Wallace is now coming to pit road. So is Harry Gant. Randy Pemberton.
Boy, you're just not seeing Rusty, or used to seeing Rusty Wallace run an average race, but that's what they've been today. Billy Wilburn and Brad Parrott going to work on the right-hand side. They're going to go ahead and take one round of wedge out, which Todd Parrott did on the right-hand side. Scott Robinson goes up with the jack. Buddy Parrott helps put the left front on again. Another great pit stop for these guys. Just not having a good day. 17-3 in the pits. Good stop.
A little bit of smoke from the left front, likely brake smoke, probably not a problem.
Well, the good part, we've eliminated the problem of him having fluid flying out of the car at the early part of the race. It had to be somebody else, or he wouldn't be out there right now.
Terry Labonte leads this race in Rick Hendrick's Kellogg Chevrolet. Dale Earnhardt in second. 1.9 seconds is Labonte's lead. Both in Chevy Luminas, and Dwayne from Iowa called in. Have any of the GM teams thought of switching over to Monte Carlos next year? Oh, yes, they have.
Oh, yeah. I tested for Chevrolet not long ago in Talladega, and I tell you, that's a great race car. It's going to be phenomenal at mile-and-a-half racetracks and all that. Whether it's better than the Lumina at Talladega or Daytona, I'm not sure, but boy, it's got a lot of down pressure in the corner. It's going to be very good.
So it'll be Monte Carlos, Thunderbirds, and Grand Prix in Winston Cup racing next year.
You know, the racetrack right now, we have a cloud over the racetrack, and I'm not sure that Terry Labonte has the car right now. It looks like Earnhardt might be closing in just a little bit on him.
Darrell Walter makes a green flag pit stop. There's Labonte.
You know, you're talking about the Monte Carlo. I talked to Childers up in Nashville when we was up there a couple weeks ago, and he seemed like that, to think that
here comes Terry Labonte into the pit. Excuse me, David.
The Monte Carlo would be better on the shorter tracks.
So Darrell leaving as Terry comes in.
Now there's a mark of somebody that knows what's going on. He started dropping back just a little bit. The tires were giving up. He knew the minute they started giving up, I had to go to the pit. What?
Well, Terry Labonte brings the Kellogg Scorn Flake Chevrolet into the pits. This will be a 4-tire change. They do not plan to make a chassis adjustment. The car is really working perfectly right now. They are putting scuffs on the car. They got a couple of sets from the 29 car of Steve Grissom, and they feel pretty good. They've got 2 more sets of scuffs and hope to get a couple more. That's a good pit stop. He's down and away 19.9 seconds. Pretty good under the gun.
He is the race leader, and so likely now with fresher tires, we'll see many of the rest of the leaders on pit road before too long. Dale Earnhardt assumes the lead here at Rockingham. We'll be right back live on TNN after this. Calamity for Rusty Wallace. He is in the garage. And Bill Elliott, who had taken the lead, makes his pit stop and is very slow, pulling out a 26-second stop for Elliott. Dale Earnhardt also makes a pit stop under green and goes back out with 4 tires. Morgan Shepherd and Ricky Rudd are now on pit road. Dick Trickle has also made a stop. But Wallace came around slowly and went straight to the garage. Todd Bodine is the new race leader. Rusty has climbed out of his car. The hood is up, and the day and the run for the title may be over.
Man, how does that happen? I mean, Rusty Wallace has always had a very, very dependable car, and right here at the end of the year, have all this problem. It just don't make sense.
Plus, he has won the last 3 races in a row at this track.
I know Earnhardt hates to see him go out that way, win the championship that way, but way back in his mind too, he's got a big old smile on his face right now.
I'm sure he's been told on the radio that Wallace is in the garage. Rick Mast makes a stop here. He had taken over the lead just moments ago from Todd Bodine.
Earnhardt will still take it easy, I would say, for another few laps. Then you'll see him start racing to win this race.
See Mark Martin here just behind Earnhardt going down in turn 1. Martin's car may be the fastest car out there right now.
Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
We're standing by with Richard Childers. And Richard, I know you'd rather have things happen on the racetrack, but bad luck for Rusty Wallace. Looks like this thing may get wrapped up here today.
Well, we still got a lot of racing to do, and you know, we're just going to see how the day ends up. You know, we wouldn't want to see anything happen to them. You know, we just race as hard as we can, and they do too.
Continue to make adjustments on the car. How is it now?
Well, we got it better. You know, we're still just a little off from where we'd like to be. He thought he had a problem with the tire that time, so we didn't take a chance and came on in.
And now here's Randy Pemberton.
Rusty Wallace wiping himself off. Rusty, it's been a great year. It's not over yet, but today's over and the championship chase is over.
Well, the championship's over, no doubt about that. And I'd like to congratulate Dale Earnhardt on a great job. We just blew too many motors this year. We had good engines, though, really good engines. But, you know, Talladega and Charlotte here, you just can't have things like that happen. And I got a good engine department. I'm all behind them. Now it's time to get back and see what's going on.
2 races to go. We understand that the rumor has Buddy Parrott leaving. What can you comment on that?
Well, yeah, he's just going to leave. He's got a great opportunity to make a whole lot of money, and so he's going to go for that. I wish him all the luck in the world.
2 races to go, of course, flat out for those two. You ought to be tough at Phoenix and Atlanta.
Well, we'll have a good run at Phoenix, and we'll have a good run at Atlanta. I'm confident. I tell you, really had a good run going here early, you know, and then we got a set of tires that either my tire pressure got off or something, and I had a lot of problems. But then we got to straighten out, was going back up there, and when the motor let go. So that's racing, and we'll go after him again next year.
Very gracious Rusty Wallace, who is in the garage out of this race, and most likely, though it has not been clinched, most likely out of this title chase. Up front, Sterling Marlin, Ward Burton, Terry Labonte, Dale Earnhardt, and Mark Martin. We'll be right back. Sterling Marlin gives up the lead to come on pit road. He was the last of the leaders to make a pit stop. And now Terry Labonte back up front.
Well, there was an exchange for the second place. Mark Martin got by Dale Earnhardt. And I tell you, Mark is a real fast car right now, but so is the 5-car Terry Labonte. This is going to be an interesting shootout here.
And you can see the sun has popped back out full all the way around the racetrack.
It has, and you know, Terry's car seems like it runs good though when the sun is not out or even when it's out.
Well, they'd have to do one or the other, David. So
I said it was running good both when the sun is out and also when clouds go.
I understand, yeah.
But not all at the same time. We've had turn 2 and 4 in sun and the rest of the track in shade.
You got it.
Every other combination.
He runs good all the time.
Yes, he does. So here's where Earnhardt is running and how it sorts out. Right now, Dale is in 3rd place, and he has 5 points for leading a lap. Rusty Wallace right now is 29th. He can finish no better than 29th today. And there are still 6 cars that have completed less laps but are still running.